Okay, guys, so I just got back from Stamford, Connecticut last night. We landed in Knoxville, flew into New York City when we were out there, and then Ubered up to Stamford, which was about 40 minutes from New York City. And I'd never been to New York City or Connecticut. Those were two new states. So I got the number of states I've been to up to like 38 now. And New York was crazy. It was a little much for me as far as the amount of people around Times Square. But I did like Central Park. Central Park was really cool. It's quiet. Like, I was surprised at how quiet it is because it's just this huge park in the middle of New York City and surprisingly quiet and nice and beautiful. So that was really cool. I was like hauling like a 40-pound thing of luggage around New York City. It was pretty hilarious because we just had to Uber everywhere. I didn't get a rental car, whereas I normally do when we go on trips. But I just didn't want to navigate the traffic. Anyway, so we were going to New York and then driving up to Stamford for the Athlean X Live event, which is a yearly event that Jeff Cavaliere holds in Stamford. He lives out there. And he hadn't had it in 2 years. I don't think he had it actually since 2019, so 3 years because of COVID and all that sort of thing. But we went to that. It was freaking awesome. It went from Thursday through Sunday. And I was one of the coaches he invited out. So he contacted me a couple months ago after seeing my video that I made about him and Jesse's squats. And he brought me out to coach on Thursday. So guy was a stand-up dude. I've never spoken to him before in person. We talked on the phone a little bit before the event, but I didn't know. I've obviously heard of Athlean X, Jeff Cavaliere, Jesse. Like, he's the biggest YouTube fitness channel out there, so I'd heard of him before and I'd seen his stuff, but I'd never I didn't know too much about him. But awesome dude. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about Jeff and his team, and I'm trying to get Jeff to convert to hook grip on deadlift, so hopefully we can collab in the future some more. That's the plan, because we were gonna do a collab, some video for his channel, but we kind of ran out of time on the last day there, and it was just a packed weekend. But Jesse, Mansoor, Jeff, all of his team, tremendous people. Everyone there was super cool. And so basically, like, we flew in on Wednesday, spent the day walking around New York City, got into Stamford Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday, I did my coaching part, which was like 3 hours, 2 different groups I was working with, each about 20 people. And I worked with that group as far as like teaching them the big main 3 lifts like I would at a seminar. So that was pretty awesome. Also, another coach who was there was Matt Wenning. So I got to hear the Wenning warm-up principles again, which I was familiar with. I've done podcasts with Matt before. But it was good to get like a refresher on those, and just talking to Matt a bunch about training and all sorts of different stuff was awesome. And it was kind of crazy because like we'd be at these like private dinners, and there'd be anywhere from like 5 to 10 of us, and I would just be like sitting there hanging out with Jeff, Matt Wenning, Andrew Huberman, Alan Aragon. Tony Blauer, Gunnar Peterson. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, these big wigs in the fitness industry, I'd just be like sitting in a room, having private conversation with them, because like Jeff's got 2 million plus Instagram followers, and Huberman's got like 1.5 million, and you're just talking to him like shooting the breeze. So it's kind of crazy. And like Gunnar Peterson, he's trained celebrities, and Tony Blauer, an awesome guy, one of my favorite guys from the weekend. Nothing but good things to say about all these guys. So that was kind of surreal, just like hanging out every day with them. And I didn't get a whole lot of footage while I was out there because I wasn't trying to be annoying with like filming and stuff. And it was just, I was trying to soak up the experience, but it was awesome. Great guys. And Friday was presentations. Matt gave a presentation. There were a bunch of other presentations. Sam's dog is freaking out right now in the background. But that was good. I'm distracted right now. Anyway, it was good. And then Saturday was the Athlean X event. Marley, stop! Marley! Okay, so the Athlean X live event was on Saturday. And this was brutal. Honestly, I've been running, I've been lifting. I'm 220 pounds roughly, a little under. And I got smoked. I got obliterated by this course. Like, this course tore me up. So this may not sound that tough on paper, but it was freaking brutal. It was the closest thing I've ever done to like CrossFit, and it darn near killed me. So I probably honestly placed in like the bottom 25th percentile of the people who did it. There were 3 levels. There was level 1, level 2, and then level 3, the extreme level. So you could sign up the day before for one of the courses, and I did the extreme. So in the extreme course, I probably did like bottom 25th percentile of people, and it was crazy. The best guys were about 200 pounds, I'd say. I was one of the heavier guys, 220. And it starts off, so you have 8 minutes to do this. It starts off with 25 dead hang pronated pull-ups. So you can like obviously take breaks along the way, but you have to get 25 pull-ups in a row before you can move on to the next thing. 25, chin over the bar, arms completely locked at the bottom, dead hang pull-ups. So my whole strategy was break it up into 5s. So I tried to do 5s where I take like a 15-second break in between, 10-15 seconds. Breeze through the first like 15, even upwards of 17 weren't bad. That last 8 got really tricky. My lats are smoked today, so it's about 48 hours later, and I'm hoping my lats are healed up by Saturday for the deadlift only meet, because that crushed me, because they were strict. I've got a video I'll put up of the whole event that was filmed of my taking it, but I was a little slower than most on the pull-ups, but I also, you know, I'm 220 pounds. I was one of the heavier guys. So I was probably the second heaviest guy, because a lot of the guys who did really good were about 200 pounds, and some were even less. But the pull-ups were brutal, you know, chin over the bar, pronated. After that, we had to move on to 50 sideways hops over like a 18-inch bar. So it was like 16 or 18-inch bar. This wasn't too bad, but at this point I was starting to get out of breath, so I did 25, or I did like 30, took a break, finished out the last 20. That one was probably the easiest. After that, we moved on to a suitcase kettlebell walk with a 100-pound kettlebell. And honestly, going into this, I thought I was gonna smoke it. I thought this was gonna be a cakewalk. But then, after being gassed out from the pull-ups and the hops, it was actually pretty tough. So it was tougher than I thought going into it. That was the one I was kind of like, oh, this won't be bad. And it wasn't so easy. I don't remember the exact distance, but you had to go down and back with the kettlebell across the full tennis court. Then we moved on to med ball, 50-pound med ball pushes. Like, you had to like throw the med ball down and back across the tennis court. And I did not have a technique for this. I've never done this. So actually I was pretty bad at this. It would take me like 6 throws to get it down one way and 6 back. So I was pretty slow on those. Never done that one before. It wasn't even like a strength thing. It was like I couldn't figure out a technique. So I got through that one. I still was under the 8 minutes. And then I had to move on to 75 hand release push-ups. So not just push-ups where you bang them out and can half rep them. These were like fully touch your chest to the floor, pick your hands up at the bottom, do a full push-up with your arms locked, go down, release your hands. So every single rep you had to do that strict. So it was like twice as hard as normal push-ups. So I got through 35 of those, and I had to get, and then my time ran out. Like once I had 35, the time ran out to 8 minutes, but I still had 40 to go, and it just was brutal. I was like, I don't know how anyone's doing this. But what I would have had to do after that is 100 jump ropes, which that would have been easy relatively. And then you get out of the court, and then the timer goes off as far as your limit, but you have to run up and down a hill twice, which I think I would have been pretty good at, given I've been running, doing a lot of hill training, that sort of thing. But I ran out of time before I could get out of the tennis court with 40 push-ups and 100 jump ropes still to go. And the push-ups and the pull-ups were by far the hardest part. I knew they would be going in. I knew that was going to be the case. Like, I got smoked on the body weight stuff because I'm a little heavier, truthfully. But I did my best, and it was like really humbling. My heart rate peaked at like 137 during the challenge. There were guys like puking left and right afterward. Guys like dying basically all around me. But it was impressive. It was humbling. I'm like, these guys are in some sick shape. So it's something I'd want to train a little better for next time, because I didn't train at all, obviously. And I haven't been doing pull-ups or push-ups or anything like that at all. Any of the events I hadn't been doing. It was a hell of an experience. I'm happy I tried it, and Kelly and I had a great time out there with our daughter and everything. And then we wrapped it up Sunday with the awards and all that, and we headed on home. So I just got home Sunday evening, and honestly had a blast. Like, I didn't know what to expect coming into it, but between like networking with those guys and trying out the event, and I think in all the years of doing this, I was like the only guy who, among the speakers / coaches who flew in, I was the only one to ever try the course. So I kind of can say I was the only guy who tried the course. And I got to give props to Tony Blauer. Like, he was giving me coaching and supporting me as well. He was really helping out. Like, that guy was in my corner. So, freaking awesome guy. But it was a lot of fun. Like, Kelly's been in New York City before, so she's already seen that, but she saw it like 15 years ago. She'd never been to Connecticut. And Connecticut has some good lobster rolls, guys. The lobster rolls were crazy expensive, but the lobster bisque and lobster rolls had them one time. Very, very good. Everyone was super nice out there as well. Like, I know the Northeast gets a bad rap as far as like people being rude and stuff, but everyone was super nice. I was like, I didn't have any bad experiences. It was pretty cool. So yeah, it's something I definitely go back to. Like I said, I have nothing but good things to say about everyone who was out there. Like, I met so many great people. I can't even, touch on them all because there were so many of them, but phenomenal stuff, and learned a lot, had a lot of fun. And I'll get the footage up hopefully tomorrow of the course because it was a beatdown, but I felt pretty good at the end. I just definitely need to work on that form of cardio and that type of endurance training because, like, it definitely got me, guys. But hey, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll try to get the videos going again here, start knocking them out. Thanks, guys.